Hello, welcome to Straight Talk Africa, live from the Voice of America studios here in Washington. It's Wednesday, February 13th. I am Shaka Ssali.
And hello, I am Mariama Diallo.
Today we'll discuss U.S. President Barack Obama's State of the Union address and American policy towards Africa.
And coming up later in our STA inbox, we've received some strong comments on our topic and we'll reveal some of them ahead on Straight Talk Africa.
But first, VOA's Carolyn Presutti has more on Mr. Obama's address.
In his annual address to the nation, the president focused on what voters say is important to them: guns, jobs, and war.
After a decade of grinding war, our brave men and women in uniform are coming home.
The president says 34,000 troops, about half the force now in Afghanistan, will be home by this time next year. This puts the U.S. on track to completely pull out of Afghanistan in about 2 years, the president said, while continuing to help the Afghan government train and equip its own forces. Some Republicans say the drawdown is taking too long. Representative Paul Brown from Georgia.
I think we ought to get out of Afghanistan as soon as we possibly can. We're spending money there that we don't have, and it's the wrong policy, frankly.
On jobs, Mr. Obama said American business created 6 million more, while consumers are spending again.
It is our generation's task, then, to reignite the true engine of America's economic growth, a rising, thriving middle class.
Every year, members of Congress fill the floor of the chamber. Invited guests usually line the balconies. A number of them this year whose lives have been touched by gun violence. Those who sympathize wore ribbons, while the president insisted that victims expect Congress to act on gun reforms.
They deserve a vote. They deserve a vote.
Experts say presidents often rewrite the speech almost up to the moment of delivery. This year there was a late change after North Korea tested a nuclear weapon the day before.
Provocations of the sort we saw last night will only further isolate them.
On immigration, the president drew applause from both political parties. He called for a legal path to citizenship for the country's 11 million undocumented immigrants.
A path that includes passing a background check, paying taxes and a meaningful penalty, learning English, and going to the back of the line behind the folks trying to come here legally.
For the first time, the Republican response to the president's speech was given in English and Spanish. Senator Marco Rubio of Florida said immigration reform should begin with enforcement.
We must follow through on the broken promises of the past to secure our borders and enforce our laws.
The president plans to capitalize on his speech in 2 immediate ways. He meets with a bipartisan congressional group on immigration, and he leaves Wednesday for North Carolina to promote manufacturing jobs. In Washington, Carolyn Presutti, VOA News.